Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm here to ask for respect for this Gold Cup roster. This video is going to be in English, but I am going to resume it for the Spanish speakers only in about 20 seconds. So give me a second, English speakers. Para la gente que habla español, quiero decirles que este video solamente es para reclamarle a los estadounidenses que este no es un equipo C y que tienen un equipo que puede llegar a la final, pero no quiero excusas de que sean eliminados en unas previas rondas antes de la final. Es todo lo que es este video. Alright, well, here we go. So basically, like I said, guys, I don't want any excuses for why this team can fail and not make it to the final. I'm already seeing it. This is our C team. Listen, guys, when you have a first team, it's 23 players. Your B team is your next 23 players from 24 to 46, and your C team is from 47 to whatever freaking number it is, 60 something. I'm not good at math. So this is not your C team, and I would say this is probably like your B minus team, and it's not as far back of a starting team as you guys think. USA nor Mexico have that much quality where 1 through 23 or 1 through 60 is the same level. I would say the first 11 players are maybe 1 or 2 steps above the other past 24 players. But I want respect for these guys, and I'm going to keep saying it because it's not a bad team as you guys think. You might be asking yourselves why I have these pictures. It's just to show you guys some pictures that the US played against other rivals. Reggie Cannon is a beast. He's from Chicago, just like me. Respect to that man. So Filippo and 11 Yanks. This is not your C team. This is like your minus B team. Alright. B minus. Somewhere around there. This is the USA's team that lost to Canada in Canada during Nations League. Josh Sargent. Think about who's behind them. Then you have Christian Pulisic, Weston McKennie, Jordan Morris, Michael Bradley, who's not going to be called up anymore. Christian Roldan, he's here. Daniel Lovitz, he's going to be gone. Tim Riem, he played the Nations League final. Aaron Long is hurt. Yedlin played the final. Stephen got hurt. And now this is the US team that beat Canada in the home game in USA. Oh look, less goals scored by Canada with Brad Guzan being in goal. You got the stars for Gino Dest, Aaron Long, John Brooks, Tim Riem, Weston McKennie. Oh look, Jackson Ewell, who's gonna play this Gold Cup. Ariola, who's gonna play this Gold Cup. Sebastian Lletget, who's gonna play this Gold Cup. But I don't see a Pulisic. I don't see a Pulisic, and then yet you win this game and you score more goals. Weston McKennie isn't in a Sebastian Lletget spot. He's more a mixed 8 here. And oh look, you got Zardes, who actually scored 2 goals here. And Sargent, how many goals did he score in that other game? Oh, that's right, 0. But okay, you're gonna say, hey, this was 2019. We're in 2021 now. Josh Sargent's not the same player. I don't know. I didn't see him score goals in Nations League. Here's the US team against Mexico in the final, 2021. Zach Steffen, who was in that game where the USA lost 2-0 to Canada in Canada. John Brooks is there for the victory. Tim Riem. DeAndre Yedlin is here. Weston McKennie, who was in both games. Gillian Acosta, who is in Gold Cup. Sergino Dest, who was there for that victory in the US versus Canada. Gio Reyna's here now. Josh Sargent. Oh, he didn't score any goals here, fortunately. Oh, you got Pulisic. He scored. He scored a good goal. So here you have it. You got your team with $64 million, ranked 20th. They're going to go down. They're going to be probably 19 or 18, depending on how other teams moved up at the Euro and in the Copa America. And here's your squad. Midfielders up to forwards. Kylian Acosta, 31 games, 2 goals. Gianluca Busio, who's going to debut. He's amazing. Sebastian Lletget, 24 games, 7 goals. Christian Roldan, 20 games. Eric Williamson, he's going to debut. Jackson Yuo, 12 games. Pau Arriola, 35 games, 8 goals. Teo Dike, 3 games, 1 goal. Giochini, 3 games, 2 goals. Matthew Hoppe, he's going to debut. Jonathan Lewis, 7 games, 2 goals. He shouldn't be here. Giassi Sardes, 56 games, 12 goals. I mean, it's not a bad team, folks. Who else do we have here? Goalkeepers, Brad Guzan, 64 games. Sean Johnson, 9 games. Matt Turner, 1 game. He's going to start. He can compete for a number 1 spot. Your defenders, George Bayo, 1 game. Reggie Cannon, 18 games, 1 goal. Shaq Moore, 5 games. Donovan Pines, he's going to debut. I don't know who he is. Miles Robinson, 3 games, 1 goal. James Sands, he's going to debut. Sam Vines, 3 games. And Walker Zimmerman, 14 games, 2 goals. You got experience and you got youth against a CONCACAF team. Not team, but teams who don't have players playing in MLS at this level. MLS is better than the Qatar League. MLS is better than the Honduras League. MLS is better than the Costa Rica League. MLS is better than the Haiti League. There's no excuses. Okay? Look here, we got Matt Turner. Matt Turner is going to compete for the number 1 spot between Stefan, Horvath, and him. Guys, I don't rate Stefan that high. I really don't. I think Ethan Horvath is better than Zach Stefan. I've seen Turner play a few games, and he's a good player. And he's going to compete for the number 1 spot. And hopefully the U.S. can perform well, where he's able to show what he's about. I don't consider Matt Turner a C choice, quote. We got Walker Zimmerman, 10 games, 1 assist, 4 more, Defender of the Year for MLS. I don't consider him a C choice. You're going to tell me that Aaron Long, Chris Richards, Miles Robinson are miles and miles and miles away ahead of him? No, they're not that much better than him. He's just an older player that never made his way to Europe. Doesn't mean he's a bad player at all. If you're 25 and older, Europe is not going to come calling your name. It's very, very hard. And we've seen that with Mexico players, and we've seen that with MLS players. But it does not mean you're a bad player. We also got Kylian Acosta. He started the final against Mexico. He didn't do a bad job. He didn't do a bad job versus France in 2018, I think it was, or 2019. If Adams doesn't play, guess who's going to be the starter? This guy. Is he a C choice? It's not like you have another guy right above him. No, you don't. Christian Roldan, I'm not on that boat, trust me. Alexi Lalas has quoted, Christian Roldan being moved up from a defensive midfielder in Seattle Sounders has become a great player. Get the fuck out of here. But Roldan, okay, maybe he is a C choice. I'll give you that one. Jackson Yueill, I like Jackson Yueill. Filippo and 11 Yanks don't like him. I like him. He's got 11 games, 2 goals with San Jose Earthquakes. He was the best player for the U.S. in the pre-Olympic qualifying games. He was the captain. He shows up. Yes, he has trouble against better teams, but who doesn't? Versus Switzerland, he was the one that created the chance to help the U.S. score that first goal, with Sebastian Lletget scoring that goal against Switzerland. Now, Gianluca Busio. Alright, this guy, I'm excited to see him. I hope that he does great here so he can move over to Europe and Italy. And he's only going to get better. This is a guy that I like. I've talked about him before. Him and Gio Reyna made the Mexican players U17 team cry. Eric Williamson, he should have been in the pre-Olympic qualifiers. But guess what? I heard he didn't show up to practice. He didn't show up to practice. He showed up to practices, but he didn't show why he deserved to be on the team. And sometimes there are players that are not good in practices, and when it comes to real games, they show up. I've had teammates for wrestling when I used to wrestle in high school and college who wrestled like shit in practice, and then you go out to a real match, it's a completely different wrestler. And I'm sure it's the same way with soccer. You're not going to be the best in practices all the time. It's different things, different mentality, But now that he has his opportunity to show what he has, hopefully he takes advantage of it. Pau Arriola. You're going to tell me that Conrad de la Fuente, Richie Ledesma, Ule Yanez are miles ahead of Pau Arriola? He may be behind Weah, Pulisic, Reyna, Morris, and Aronson, but he's not a C choice. He played versus Canada in that 4-1 victory. Daryl Dike that I think is better than Josh Sargent. Sabechu is better than Josh Sargent. And you're going to tell me Daryl Dike is a C choice? He's not a C choice. This man's a beast. He's only got 4 games already in MLS, and he's got 2 goals. He's already scoring. This man is lights out. Giazzi Zardes. 10 games, 4 goals. He scores with the U.S. shirt. He may not score against big teams, but come on, you guys always say he doesn't score against the big teams. How many players did great against Switzerland? How many players did great against Mexico? And what other big games did the U.S. have? None. Honduras, it took a last minute goal. Against Mexico, McKennie showed up. McKennie showed up with his headers. It's not like the players have many chances. But the chances they do get, Josh Sargent missed them. And Sabechu didn't. Miles Robinson, who was rumored to go to Europe already, he's not a bad player. He's probably going to start next to Zimmerman. But you can't tell me that Mark McKenzie's 3 times better than this guy. He's not. Alright, this guy, Sam Bynes, Alexi Lalas, whatever his name is, had him in his starting lineup overall for the U.S. Well, he's not in my starting lineup, and he's neither in many others. George Bello, I want him to start. He's young. He's only 19. Hopefully he shows what he has. Speedy guy. He's getting more tactical. Smarter in the field. Heinze was a left back. One of the best in the world. That's his coach. And finally, James Sands. This guy was a defensive midfielder for a while. Now he's a center back. I've seen him play defensive mid. I don't know why he why he missed out on the pre-Olympic games, but he's not a bad player. He actually might start over Miles Robinson. We'll have to see. Let's go over the U.S. starting lineup. You got Dike. You got Pau Arriola. Hape, who USMNT only had said that Bayern Munich was going after him. Sebastian Lletget, Gianluca Busio, Kylian Acosta, Sam Vines, Walker Zimmerman, Miles Robinson, Reggie Cannon, and Matt Turner. That's not a bad team. This team could play Canada at home and beat them. And they're going to play them. They're going to play them. So give these guys respect. Let's look at Mexico's bench. The team that, if Tata Martino decides to rest the starting 11, Alan Pulido, Orbelín Pineda, Efrain Alvarez, Eric Sanchez, who hasn't even debuted, Jonathan Dos Santos, Alan Cervantes, Osvaldo Rodríguez, Carlos Salcedo, Diva Sepúlveda, Kevin Alvarez, Orozco. 3 of these guys weren't even good enough to make the Olympic squad when they took 22 players. If for some reason Tata Martino had decided to start this team for the whole tournament, I'd say you have to go out there and win it. There's no excuses. Orbelín Pineda wants to go to Europe? Show us. Alan Pulido was bought for millions of dollars to the MLS? Show us why you were bought for millions of dollars. Jonathan Dos Santos, a Barcelona Academy player? Come on now. Carlos Salcedo, who played in Europe for many years, played a World Cup, started. Jonathan Orozco with a ton of experience. There's no excuse. You gotta make the final. If Mexico loses, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm not gonna have no excuses. You have to go out there and win it all. Because if you want to win the World Cup 2026 USA, you have to have a deep squad because you're starting 23. 5 of them are going to get hurt. Mexico, you want to make it past the top 16? You got to show us what you got.